Hey guys, Luna here, and thanks for tuning in to my reaction channel. I'm joined by Carty. Aaron, how are you?
Hello, I'm very good, pretty in green today.
Yeah, you look awesome. I'm loving this outfit.
Oh, thank you very much. This was actually a dress I was going to wear to a film premiere, but my nipples, which you can't see, thank God on shot, were just protruding so much I couldn't actually wear it, so I had to pick something else last minute.
Oh, jeez. Well, I love it, and I don't usually like... It's fluorescent green, right? Or am I colourblind?
It is, this colour is in, you know. No, it's fluorescent green, look. So this colour is in at the moment, you know. So I'm, giving you a Lou and I exclusive.
Yeah, I'm loving it. And the viewers will probably love it as well. Comment below, guys. So, we've just watched episode 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 5. What did you think overall of the episode?
Oh, do you know what? I think we got to that point where I think the episode was playing out itself. Like, the narrative was very much, we knew who was going to go. We knew who was going to be surprised in the comedy challenge, so there wasn't a lot of surprises. But I'm not disappointed in that, because actually this season we've just been gagged the whole season. There's always been something every episode. So I think this is probably the first episode which has just very much just been pretty meh, dare I say?
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Like, it was an easy watch. It was just... You just watched it. It just played out. We kind of knew what was going to happen. Yeah, I felt a bit meh by it as well. So yeah, I'm totally on the same page as you.
When we came back into the workroom after Alexis's elimination, I was really worried. My first thought was Cracker was playing a game here. She was putting Blair on edge from the beginning to mess her up for the rest of the episode. Yeah. When she's talking about, well, let me tell you, I'm a bit nervous. I don't want to cause a reaction as to who I was going to, send home. Cracker was playing a game this entire episode. She had full power. She was the one that was going to tell them who was going to go home if it wasn't Alexis. As the winner of the challenge, she got to pick the order of the of the roasting. Now, what do you think about the order that Miz Cracker chose?
I don't think there was anything malicious behind it, even though she said, I've done this in order to benefit myself. I think she knew what she was doing, and yeah, I thought it was fair enough. Someone has to go first, someone has to go last, and yeah, she just made a decision based off on, I think, what she thought, like how they were gonna perform. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I was fine with the order that she picked.
But actually, I think she was quite open and transparent with the order, and why she put people in that order. To put Jujubee first, I would have done the same.
Yes.
Jujubee, she's gonna, tear the house down. Now, if you put her at the end, she's gonna be the most memorable. Well, yeah. So we thought. And then, for her to put herself after Blair, well, that played out well, didn't it? Because
completely.
If anything, yeah. Oh my God, poor Blair. Let's talk about Blair. Let's talk about Blair and that comedy challenge, because when she was on the stage with Ross and Jane, I was thinking she's got some jokes in her. She's got this. What did you think?
I was pleasantly surprised during the rehearsals. But there's a difference between constructed comedy and her. During the rehearsal, she felt a bit more relaxed. Yeah. When it was in front of an audience, it's a completely different experience. Soon as she didn't get a laugh on one of her joke, that fucked it up for her completely, and you could see it. It was like a train crash.
But I must say, I genuinely believe this would have been the challenge that I would have failed on. I am not a comedy queen at all. As much as I can make people laugh, you're right. When it's in a different setting and you don't get that first laugh, it's downhill. It's so hard to bring them. It's so hard to bring them back.
Yeah, professionals can deal with it because that's what they do. Like Miz Cracker, even though she was amazing, if that would have happened to her, she would have had a comeback, Or Jujubee, for example. But with Blair, because she was so fragile and it just completely screwed up her entire performance. Like, even when she was trying to turn the pages, she like couldn't turn it at one point, and it was like she was trying too much because she was getting scared and nervous, and yeah, I felt a bit bad for her, like I really did. But
yeah, I mean, if you look at Jujubee, her first couple of jokes out the gate were, no one was laughing. People were like,
crickets.
oh, it was crickets. And she did turn it around. I think if she had a bit longer, or maybe she did have longer, we just didn't see it. If she had a bit longer, there was more laughs in it. But, she did Jujubee's thing. So, she lived up to that. When Ross gave Shea the idea of turning the whole Sasha Velour and Rose Petals into a comedy sketch, to talk about how it affected her, I thought that was brilliant. I was actually thinking, I thought she was going to go crazy. When I saw that red dress, I thought red petals were going to come out.
Same.
I thought she was going to be scared by the petals and that she was going to run away from them and end up running down the stage. She could have really played that, and I think that would have made her win that.
So I was actually pleasantly surprised by Shea's performance. Like, I laughed all the way through it. She just had those sly jokes that just landed right. Like, she did it right. And yeah, I think she could have overdone it with the petals and everything. That would have been hilarious, but I think it was a solid comedy performance.
It really was, especially like from someone like Shea, who doesn't really do comedy, especially stand-up. She doesn't do stand-up. So actually, I thought she did amazingly well. However, Cracker did deserve to win.
Oh, completely.
For sure. As soon as the best joke was the body shaming joke. She's like, what happens when you body shame people? It works!
Yeah, that was brilliant. I'm glad she lingered on that joke for a while, because that was the funniest part of her whole performance for me. So, yeah, this was a Cracker episode. This was a Cracker moment. Like, as soon as I knew it was a comedy challenge, I was like, that's it. Like, Cracker's done it, because that's what she does well.
Yeah, and just think, she's won 2 weeks in a row now, so she's edging more, to that crown, Let's talk about some costumes here as well. I think this is a great idea. So we hit on Shea wearing that red dress, and I agreed with her. If it was to bomb, at least you look good.
Yeah, completely.
Definitely. But actually, on the catwalk, it was the whole idea of an alternate look and feel. And I don't really think any of them really pushed being so alternative in their drag as well. I think Jujubee obviously did the most.
Yeah.
I actually saw a photo of that this morning online. I was like, I need to stop looking at my phone before I do this. And I liked the photos of it that she posted, but I didn't like it on the catwalk.
Yeah, it looked a mess to me. It kind of looked like something Lady Gaga would have worn during her art pop phase. Yeah. Like, I think she did actually wear something similar. I didn't get it. I don't know. It just looked a mess. There was too much going on.
There was, too many patterns in it. If it was just like one or two, I think it could have worked quite well. I think it would look really nice. But too many going on there. And then I really disagreed with the judges' critique on Shea, saying, you could just find that in a club, it's nice, it's fun. But I really loved that look. I thought it was for her, and for her drag. That was completely out of the box and something different.
Yeah, completely. I actually compared it in my reaction to something Evie Oddly wore during her season. And, it was very odd, it was very alternative, and it was different to what Shea usually does, but it still had that Shea vibe. Does that make sense?
Totally. And you don't get any more odd than going from Shea to Evie Oddly.
Completely.
The diversity and variety in that in itself is amazing. When you're talking about fashion and costume, that is Shea. It defines her. It really, really does. And it's hard to stand out on Drag Race now, Like we said at the beginning, every single girl goes on as if they are an all-star now, there's no real growth in their visual look anymore, so it's really hard to get that, but I still think she pushed it. I still think she did quite well with that.
Yeah, me too. I didn't like Blair's at all.
Do you know what? We talk about it now, and you watched the episode 20 minutes ago, and I can't even remember it.
I only remember Dalmatian print.
Oh, okay, yeah. Dalmatian and Muppets, Okay.
Dalmatian and Muppets, it just wasn't for me. Like, Blair surprised me this whole season, and that was probably the biggest letdown, I think, for me.
It was, and I do think it was her time. I do think it was. If we think about her, she was really having to pitch herself in the workroom in terms of her growth. However, she did turn around and say, I don't think we should go on people's wins. And I was okay, so we've just spent 7 weeks going through this torturous thing to discredit all of the wins.
That didn't make sense. It felt like she was clutching at straws.
But we've got to think, why do you think she's done so well and has been so popular and still not got a win?
It's the classic thing of just being safe. It's just, you don't stand out. Yeah, you get people talking, and like a lot of the viewers have been like, wow, she's done so well, us included, we have loved her, but she just hasn't been phenomenal. She's just been safe.
Yeah, but why hasn't she? Do you think there's been a challenge that perhaps she could have won or that she was close to?
Not really.
Yeah,
not really. She just didn't. She wasn't the worst and she wasn't the best. She was just there, you know, and that happens on every season. There's always someone that's just there.
Just there, yeah. That's probably the worst position to be in, right?
Oh, completely, because you're kind of in limbo. Like, there's always going to be someone better than you, and there's always going to be someone worse than you.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, God, I know that.
Feel bad. I did feel bad for her, because she went into this top 4 episode, like, she was the odd one out, and...
She was the underdog there, I think.
She really was.
But only for the reason of just being very consistent. And you know, in any other part of your life, if you were that consistent and had that much momentum, it would be, you know, it would be a recipe for success. But when you're in such a high pressure environment like Drag Race, you've got to step it up. I think for me, to have Miz Cracker 2 weeks in a row have the possibility of sending a girl home was quite surprising, actually. I think obviously that this, you know, the comedy challenge was her, you know, it was in her bag, it was hers to take. But still, but what do you think the queens were like, you know, what they had to say about themselves?
Well, I think Miz Cracker had a lot of pressure on her this week. Because it's going into the final 3 and going into that deliberation phase, I think she'd already made her mind up, to be honest. She didn't need to hear what they had to say. I think she already knew who she was going to send home, and she went for it, you know. And I guess the queens, they all tried to latch on to something. Like, Shea cried, Jujubee cried, Blair kind of tried to dismiss the whole win situation. It was like everyone was clawing their way to that I want to be in that top 3. But we all knew who was gonna go through. I mean, come on, it was no surprise. But it was good to see them all fighting for their place. But there wasn't a fight to be had because Blair was the weakest one. That's what I thought about it anyway. So yeah, I think Miz Cracker, she made her mind up before they even went into deliberation. There shouldn't have even been a deliberation, I don't think.
Agreed. And I do think when we see the lipsticks next week that everyone would have chosen Blair to go home.
Yeah, completely.
Who do you think Blair chose?
I think probably Jujubee.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not sure if she'd go for Shea, because what she said, didn't she? She picked up the lipsticks and then she was like, I know you'll forgive me for this. So,
well,
I
think
know.
that could have been, that could apply to any of them though, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, so let's get on to the lip sync assassin. Now, I must say, there's 2 things I must say. My first thing was complete joy and excitement when I saw Kennedy Davenport walk through this. I thought, oh, this could be so good. This is going to be amazing. But honestly, I move more when I take the dogs for a walk in the morning.
Oh my God. That is
What went on? What was that lip sync? It was as if they were just waiting in line to pay for their shopping or something. What happened?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I actually recognised who it was this week when the wall came up, which is great.
Good
and
stuff.
I was super excited to see Miz Cracker versus Kennedy Davenport in a lip sync, right? I was so disappointed. It was the most boring lip sync I've ever seen in my life. I was just sat here talking through the whole thing, like just no one was giving me anything. The song was hideous. You can't really lip sync to something like that. Like,
well, you can, but I think that kind of, I mean, you know, us in the UK, we don't really get country music anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're a little bit of a disadvantage there. But you're right. I think for a queen to lip sync to that song, there's got to be a lot of comedy in it. which is why I actually thought when the song started that Cracker would have this. I thought, oh, she's gonna pull out some tricks, she's gonna have some, you know, some real kind of comedy moments. But yeah, why choose that song? I think they got paid to use that song, you know.
Probably because I don't know who in their right mind would choose that song for a lip sync.
No.
Especially because it's the second to final episode. You'd want something big, you'd want something exciting. I just wasn't excited at all.
Well, that was the last lip sync assassin, and you know, it was probably one of the best lip sync performers that they're gonna have, and it was a wasted opportunity, I would say.
Yeah, completely. It just fell flat. I was very disappointed.
Yeah. So let's get on to the elimination, which, as we've said, you know, the narrative of the episode, it was the Blair, you know, it was the Blair leaving episode. So
yeah,
we weren't surprised that she went, and I do believe that was the right decision.
I felt like a little bit of sadness and disappointment because of how much Blair has surprised me this season, but she definitely wasn't top 3.
So I think there's going to be a massive twist for this finale.
In what way?
Well, when that telephone came on and Rue was speaking to someone, I instantly thought, okay, this is going to be the queens coming back. So we'll see. But to bring all the queens back, we're finally going to get to know what happened between Alexis and the voting and the rigging.
That is very true.
I think so excited for that.
We're probably going to get our answer. There's going to be so much drama next week. So much drama. It's the last one. Oh, it's just going to be so good.
No, it's the last one. Oh my god. We're close to it, you know. I think and we're going to get, you know, we're going to get it. This was something that was completely recorded like over a year ago, so it's not COVID affected. So we're going to get to see the outcome, which I'm excited for. So let's do it. Let's do our final predictions.
I still think Shea is going to win.
Oh, really? See, only now after that episode am I now thinking, has Cracker got that edge?
Well, I've said it from the beginning, I think, going back to week 1. I mean, I don't remember what I said last week, but like, you know, going back, I'm pretty sure Miz Cracker was top of my list.
Yeah.
Like, even just knowing she was coming back for All Stars, I was like, she has to win this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I want Jujubee to win. I think Jujubee's always been one of my favourites since season 2. She was my favourite season 2 queen. So I think I want her to win. However, I think Shea's got it in the bag.
Yeah. So are you predicting Shea?
I'm gonna predict Shea. I'm gonna put my money there. Let's put it on Shea.
Yeah, I'm gonna predict Shea as well. And then by the time it comes to next week, people can see.
We'll know.
You know? So, guys, thank you for tuning in to our review of episode 7 of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 5. Let us know what you think below. Like, let us know your opinions on the top 3. Did the right person go home, actually? Let us know that first. What you thought of the episode, who you think's gonna win, whether you agree with us, disagree with us. We love to hear from you, so please comment below, and we will respond to you when we can. But for now, that's it from me.
And that's it from me. Bye.
And we will see you next week for the final of All Stars 5. Ciao.
Ciao.